guys to Life Saga TV. I was supposed to have this earlier, but I've done it a little bit late, so I'll take fewer minutes than we normally take 1 hour. And welcome to the house. If you don't watch this now, you can watch later, and I'll be so happy because it is 9 p.m. and some people would be watching news, guys. So welcome in the house, and I'm so grateful for your presence, guys. Now, RigaTHI Gachagua is actually tonight having an interview on Radio Citizen, not radio, but Citizen TV. Now, what are the expectations? Guys, if you ask me, I would say that the first thing that RigaTHI will talk about without fear of controversy is the aspect of corruption. Now, guys, you've seen throughout last week and a few days of this week, there has been a hot discussion on corruption and new details unveiling, including leakages of messages about his impeachment, which was paid for by the president. We've also seen aspects to do with passing of SHA and this house development aspect, all right? So those are among the things that we expect without blinking that RigaTHI Gachagua should talk about. Away from that, remember, SHA in itself is a very big question, especially revolving around Duale. You know, the question surrounding that ghost hospital that was established and questions about it, you know. So we automatically expect RigaTHI Gachagua to talk about these aspects, and it will be a bombshell, guys. Why lie? All right. So let's see some of the things that you know, for a long time people want to hear, and we've not had somebody to come out and speak about it. Though we've had Babu Wino, we've seen Sifuna partly talking about it. We've seen Kimani Chung, of course, was on the defensive end. We also saw a little bit of Amisi. Amisi talked about it. Wamuchomba talked about it. And who else? The man who was talking about biting, that they'll start biting, you know, he talked about it. So let's get to the discussion a little bit. There was something somewhere, Caleb Amisi talking about it, the MP of Saboti. There's something he talked about, and I want to just bring in the limelight before we proceed. Thank you so much for coming on board. I know it's very late. People want to sleep so that they can go to work tomorrow in Kenya. But in other places, it might be daytime, and I really appreciate for you taking some moment in being here. Hey, somebody's calling. Why this hour? Today, guys, unfortunately, I've just started, and somebody has had to call, so I cannot turn my camera to show what I have to show. Instead, I'll have to show the whole screen, which I don't like. Anyway, it is what it is. We have just to go by the vibes. So Caleb Amisi, of course, spoke about something, and it grips that NDiNDi is joining Babu Owino and Sifuna in what we call the Kenya Moja party, okay? This is something that we were looking forward to because Sifuna has been vocally speaking, and he was very ready. At some point, he even indicated that he's ready to leave ODM, all right? Now, remembering the speech that Wetangula once gave, and he said that there is no party known as Kenya, the ODM, instead there is a NASA party. And under its umbrella, they are majority. And I'm like, okay, let's flow with the vibe. So let's check on this. From the
colonialists to now African leadership. And it's actually giving William RUTO and Raila Amolo.
Umechoka? But finish, because the teacher tomorrow will not be waiting.
Movement. Therefore, we are working within the dictates and the principles of the party. The resistance is there. We are being threatened day and night. We are developing a thick skin. Woe unto you if our skin become thicker. In politics, there is the sky and the ground. The sky are the principles. And the sky will always depend on what the ground says. But if we can get to the ground directly, then we don't need the sky.
Babu Owino once spoke about getting to the ground directly, and if he can get to the ground directly, he doesn't need the sky. So, in fact, when you look at the analogy of what he's using, the metaphors here, what is the ground, what is the sky? The ground is the people, and the sky, by that, it's possibly ODM. And now that they can reach the people without the sky, they can decide to have another option, all right? For Hamisi, he thought that there is some sort of dictatorship in ODM. And of course, there was an interview yesterday I was looking at while doing some analysis. I just can't go back to it. So let's listen again to Caleb.
If it becomes a political party, so be it. Those who will want to fight us, we are God sent. Those who will fight us are sent by the devil. I've been speaking to NDiNDi. He will soon be part of this movement. And there will be other people, other MPs. But most importantly, Kenyans are behind this movement. Before we do that, for those who...
All right. So guys, before we proceed, you can take some moment and like the video. Also subscribe to the channel if you are new here, so that you also enhance my growth as you also enjoy what we're doing here and learn from one thing or two. Yeah, because I know many people watch videos, but they forget to like, they forget to subscribe, they forget to share, and also come back to watch others. So you've heard what Babu has shared here, and it's clear that NDiNDi is joining Babu and Sifuna very soon in what we call Kenya Kwanza, because they talked about the ground and what they say. Let me just take on something here. Just give me some minutes. What is this? Okay, so the reality is that sometimes when it comes to these parties, people decide to go where they have to go based on their mission. And if they know they really have a pulling, a following, they don't have to. Tea. Finish and sleep. Which number have you reached? Which number? Yes? 100. Let me see. $82. Just finish quickly and you sleep. Try to finish, okay? Okay. Finish so that you sleep. Yes? I can't hear. No, the teacher will not allow me to write for you, please. Just finish. Okay? Finish. All right, so let's proceed. I'm trying to encourage the baby here to finish her assignment. You know, these days, the assignments given are too many. Like a student writing from number 1 to 100. I don't remember myself doing that at nursery school. But currently, even though they say the system has reduced the load on the kids, I don't think so. I tend to see that it is too heavy for them sometimes, you know. Like when I look at the American students, they are not forced to do so much at home. Instead, they do much in class, practical lessons, and they finish everything in class. They have very little, maybe portfolios. That's what they do at home. But it is what it is, guys. So let's proceed to our discussion into the political aspect. You've written number 83. Go to 84. Write 84, 85. You're just finishing here. You've written so much, so just try to finish what is remaining. Okay? Yeah. All right, so the question is, do you still believe that RigaTHI is a bitter person just out of what happened, or can you really now trust that whatever you're saying is true? I wish I would have placed a poll right there so that we vote whether you still believe that he was, just a bitter person and spreading lies, or whether you believe that what he was saying is true. Because now I'm looking at some allegations that he was actually saying, including the fact that he was pushed out of the government because of saying the truth, the fact that he was against housing project and SHA, the fact that he was talking about Adani, and so many other aspects that have come out to look like they were a scam, Meanwhile, there's something I have to check here. There's something I need to check here. There's something serious. I had a video here too. There was a video here discussing the aspect of, this aspect of impeachment. But the reality is, on the ground, people actually have started to believe that if Duale continues to be in the Ministry of Health, we are going to lose everything. Everything, ideally, because if you look at the scam of the ghost hospitals, and we have hospitals in Nairobi and at the same time in Northeastern, which are receiving millions and millions of money. But when you look at them, they are not even to standard. They are not even operating. They are just ghost hospitals receiving money. And that is why sometimes when these leaders speak, I wonder, are they speaking for us or for themselves? Many times I don't even trust what they say, because I just see selfish people who are driven by their pockets and their future families, and they want to actually make sure that they are accruing so much for their families, and they don't care whether the rest of the citizens are okay or not. Okay. Now, it's highly possible that if the discussion goes on, Duale could be losing everything. Let's just check on this video here. This video here.
I am not going to have this. Please let me ask you, and if you stop it there, if you stop it there.
Is this the end of Aden Duale's career? Maybe even his freedom is dry. When Duale tried to calm the storm by suspending 40 facilities and several medics, Kenyans saw it not as leadership, but as proof that the rot had thrived under his watch, and he was trying to conceal it.
The facilities you found circulating in the social media
90.
are facilities that the majority of them were closed on the month of May.
The issue Kenyans argued was not that the facilities had been shut down, but that they were closed only after receiving millions of shillings from the SHA for services never delivered, effectively wiping away evidence that could have implicated.
Question. The letter says that
Any other question?
SHA has not paid claims for the last 9 months
I am not-
to hospitals. Would you kindly respond to that? Because Kenyans are very much interested in understanding.
Okay, let me answer your question.
Yes.
That facility, if they have not been paid,
90.
then let them go and engage SHA and DHA.
92. Manager Sasa. 93.
The right answer, if they are involved in fraudulence, if they are under investigation, they will be told. It is not to them to address us through nation media.
All right. So, of course, now that the storm has hit, now Duale has come out saying that the hospitals which were circulating on the social media had already been scrapped out. Now, unfortunately, they were scrapped out and they were paid. And when you look at the connection between some of them with the CEO of Health, not Health, but SHA itself, then there are a lot of questions to be answered. Now, Duale himself is also entangled or entwined in the entire thing.
Reaction,
all right?
guys, and fellas, please
Let's check
just
here.
support me. I'm growing. I'm
What
so
is this?
much hopeful that I'll get there. But
Yeah, so the reality is that when you look at the entire drama, you see a real scam, you know. I don't have to be a master of very, very long live streams, but with the current growth, we are trying to make it 1 hour, though today I've promised you that we'll be here for maybe 30 or less minutes because there's no much to say, you know. But let's look at this.
Receive millions. Now there's Hanano Medical Center, which is non-existent, received 4 million shillings from SHA in June. Ayale Medical Center, which is in Mandera, received 8 million shillings from SHA. Now what's interesting, ni Mandera kuna wizi inaendelea sana because most of these medical facilities zimekuwa registered in Mandera. Kuna anakuja kuelekeza macho ya Wakenya zaidi kwa skendo hii ya SHA na kufichua kinachofanyika.
So guys, we will be expecting a lot from Gachagua on this matter, this scandal that is going on, because I'm very sure if it has come out, he must have already dug a lot of information on the same. 97. Okay. It is very clear that we will be seeing him and he will be coming to actually talk about the aspect of these ghost hospitals, and he may reveal more. Because recently I heard Sifuna talking about the sale of such organizations as Pipeline, let's say Webuye, the Nzoia, and many other organizations. This is something that Gachagua had talked about it at some point, saying that many organizations have been sold off. Onyonka also talked about the same. And I don't know why when people just talk about it out of government, people are not concerned. But now that it came from within the government, that is when people are so much concerned and talking about it as if it is coming out today. But it happened to be something that came out long ago. All right?
Stop taking meeting notes and let ClickUp AI Note Taker
You're finished.
do it for you. It allows
Okay,
you to
keep
focus
your
on your
knee
meetings,
and
not
sleep.
your notes. It
Good night.
2027, let us bring
Oh,
in
you
those
are annoyed.
questions iweko katika referendum pamoja na election. Tupige elections na tubadilishe constitution pia tukiweka tick pale. I think 15 years of a new constitutional dispensation. Tunaweza sema sahi hapa ibadilishwe kidogo, hapa haijakuwa mzuri, hapa imekuwa mzuri. It is time for us to evaluate and see what works and fix the one that is not working. That is a good thing.
Mapendekezo haya yakitolewa kwa sauti za juu na yakitolewa katika hafla moja na kiongozi zaidi ya mmoja, kuonyesha kwamba ni kitu ambacho wameketi na kujadiliana, na huenda hata alikuwepo mmoja aliyewapanga.
Now, when I listen to such absurd politics, then I wonder because as a result of the leakages that have come out, like the aspect to do with the SHA, the building and all that, I wonder then why we should have so many other discussions surrounding this aspect that we do not want to hear anymore. You know, like how does somebody come out and talk about the changing of the constitution of structuring when currently we are facing a very serious aspect of corruption? Has corruption happened because of the constitution? When you look at the constitution generally, it has a very clear cut, and only that if people learn to be morally up and earn their salaries, allowances, of course it's a lot of money that they earn. If they just choose to use what they earn and also pass the laws, that is allow the judiciary, executive, and the three arms of government to perform what they have to do. The executive, judiciary, and what? Executive, judiciary, and we have the third arm, just playing their role without interference, then we won't have any further ado or problems in the country. But the problem with our country is that we have all those arms, but they keep interfering each other. Either you'll find the executive interfering judiciary, or you find maybe, which other, I'm just getting to have a problem with the third arm. Oh, legislature, yeah. So you find that either the legislature is affecting the judiciary or judiciary affecting legislature, but most times, of course, it's the executive. Executive tampers with the legislature or executive tampering with judiciary, such that they want if there are cases in court, they influence and they want to finance and they want to tamper with that. When law is being formed or a bill, it's like influenced, financed. I was so shocked the other day to realize that Kimani Ichung'wah had specific funding of specific laws, Now, the president also funding certain laws, not because it's for the good of citizens, but it's for his own good, for business purposes. And you remember Gachagua talked about this, that he came to learn that the house aspect was just business, creating business opportunities. Do you know, if there is one of the industries you can work in, become rich very fast, is real estates. And of course, real estates were developed in housing pact, whereby now every worker in Kenya, you go to work, but you're working for somebody you don't know. And that money is channeled out of your pay slip, you like it or not. And at the end of the day, it enriches some people, maybe those company owners and all that. SHA is also a very big industry. Every month as they channel money from everybody, including the poor, to pay for their health. And yet when you go to hospitals, you are given substandard medicine. That clearly becomes a cow cash for some people, T. Teresa, jifunike. Can you cover yourself? Jifunike. Okay, thank you. Have you covered yourself? Okay. Yeah. So when you look at the legislature, which is the parliament, it's a rotten entity. Even though there are some few people who might be clean, very few though, it has been used by the executive. It has also messed with the judiciary all day long. And these are the questions I'm very sure Gachagua is going to address. I'm very sure Gachagua is going to address that because he was there until he was actually forced to walk away. Then he would not keep quiet. And of course, we can play something in relation to what he said while in America. Let me just look for this. I think there's this one here.
You've met 3 leaders of the Al-Shabaab militia at night to discuss business with them. They want to know why. They also want to know why you have removed the requirement for vetting of non-Kenyans before they are given IDs. The Americans are concerned.
During his U.S. tour, Gachagua made a staggering allegation that President...
Yeah, and so those are not the only 2 things that Gachagua talked about while in America. We heard that he talked about so many things, all right? Very many things. He talked about so many things. And I think during the interview, they'll be asking him and he'll be addressing that. I was really looking forward to hearing that interview right away. But I'm getting a challenge to see that. But as I told you, we have about 7 minutes to finish this. Let's just see this. Do you think the signals will be worked against?
Politics is a game of chance. Personally, I believe that is so true. Tuesday night.
Do you know the answer?
No,
Click
the
here
interview
to
must be going
answer
on.
and
Let me
hatch
see.
your own pet on a
9 p.m. What is he going to tell the nation?
Because 9 p.m. is due already. Let me see whether the interview started. You can see it. Oh, yeah. What is this here? Let me see this. Don't tell me the interview is not going on because I expect it should be on already. You are waiting for this. Okay, of course, remember, during the time RigaTHI Gachagua was network problem in Kenya. I don't know whether it's in Kenya or here. What's happening? Yeah, so let me check Citizen, because we were expecting the interview to be going on and I was actually set to have everything going on, but there is nothing. There is nothing. So I wonder what has happened, because of course, if you saw the leakages of messages, you realize something about they had indicated something to do with the blocking signals and all that. I'm like, could it be possible? But I don't think so. Let me check on this again. Hey, it's just showing some things, but not really. Let me see this.
The RUTO administration believes in all freedoms as per our constitution, including the freedom of the press. The fact that 6 media stations are here is a clear testimony of my faith in the freedom of the press. That's why you're here. If we do not believe in freedom of the press, I will not grant this interview. The media plays a critical role in informing and educating the people of Kenya. The free media is a good thing for this country. In the 80s, we only had KBC and the Voice of Kenya then, and government would chaperone information the way it wants. But with a liberal media, it's good for the country. People have choice. You cannot cheat the people of Kenya more anymore. If one state
The live here. What is happening? People are just waiting, but there's nothing going on. Actually, you can see.
Thank you very much for staying tuned and welcome along to the 9 p.m. sports broadcast. My name is Elijah Okom. Let's begin with volleyball and Kenya. Yani, it is the tallest and the longest.
All right, it seems that we'll be talking about this thing tomorrow, because I've waited and waited to go on and actually analyze together with what I've been doing, but I can't see anything so far after a long wait. So automatically we will be watching, or rather analyzing what has been said tomorrow, maybe during the day, because it's always good to be timely. You know, in this industry of YouTube, you need to be actually timely on what is being done, because it's a world on its own, right? It's a world on its own. And as we keep waiting, we will not wait until morning, because we've got to do other stuffs. But it is what it is, guys. And I appreciate you for your presence. We've just taken 30 minutes because today I said I won't take a lot of time. But I appreciate your presence, and I've talked about some few things here and there. And I hope that we'll be getting down to what needs to be covered, because there are so many people waiting. 6 million people waiting on Citizen, yet there is nothing going on yet. So I don't know whether he delayed, whether he has been abducted or stopped, house arrest. You know, there are so many possibilities. So many possibilities, okay? But we'll be seeing what will be happening. Yeah, because I'm even looking at Instagram. And all I can see is a picture. Nothing much. Just a picture, you know. Hey. But we'll be getting there. We'll be getting there because we can't keep waiting, as I've said. We'll be joining later. All right. Because this thing was supposed to start at 9 and it's 9:34. Nothing, I can't see anything. Yeah, so guys, let's wait till that happens. In case I'll not have slept, I'll be just on. Thank you so much.